أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. كذلك ما أتى الذين من قبلهم من رسول إلا قالوا ساحر أو مجنون أتواصوا به بل هم قوم طاغون فتول عنهم فما أنت بملوم وذكر فإن الذكرى تنفع المؤمنين وما خلقت الجن والإنس إلا ليعبدون ما أريد منهم من رزق وما أريد أن يطعمون إن الله هو الرزاق ذو القوة المتين فإن للذين ظلموا ذنوبا مثل ذنوب أصحابهم فلا يستعجلون فويل للذين كفروا من يومهم الذي يوعدون صدق الله العظيم.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Rayatunga Majliuga Hinnavar Dairaga Izzetteri Member Jihan Mahmood, United Nations Resident Coordinator Ms. Catherine Haswell, Rayatum Majlis ke Idara Muazzafu, Adi UNDP Maldives ke Faratum Wadagan Tibevi Meha Beflu, British Parliament for Women ke Bavering, Adi Mirasmiat ke Baveriva Meha Beflu. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Honorable Member of the Parliament of Hinnavar Constituency, Ms. Jihan Mahmood, Resident Coordinator for the United Nations in the Maldives, Ms. Catherine Haswell, participants of the Practice Parliament of Women, and every one of you who are joining us today, Assalamu alaikum.
Practice Parliament for Women Nimunga Rasmiyat ka Bari Wadaganava Imha Farataka Marhaba, Miatga Rasmiyat Hoshala Deni, Algot Zidna Muhammad, Adi Nabi Asim, Mi Rasmiyat Feshigan Di Kirti Kuruan ge Barakatu, Kiava Vidalwi, Ayman Tawfiq. Miatge rasmiyat feshma hamajehi fawani mi rasmiyat wadagen tibe izzetter mehmanunge wahak kolku efa practice parliament for women ge bavering certificate hawal kuru kuriyattan adi mi program ge baveriye ge wahak kolku fa rasmiyat nimmadani huriha bavering ge group photo eku.
Good evening and a very warm welcome to all of us joining here at People's Majlis to the closing ceremony of the Practice Parliament for Women. I, Nabi Asim, along with Zidna Muhammad, will be your hosts for today. The ceremony began with the recitation of the Holy Quran by Ayman Tawfiq. We will begin with the remarks by our esteemed guests here today. Following this, we will hand out the certificates of participation and conclude the ceremony with sharing by participants and a group photo.
مرحبا دينما ام فرتا مداوت ارواني رايتم مجليوك هنور دائرة إزتر member جيهان محمود.
First, we would like to invite Honorable MP Ms. Jihan Mahmood to share her remarks.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. मैं अल्लाह हमद करं रसूलुल्लाह सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि व सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि सलाम गाय कलेक फानगे आल असहाबुन शामिल करं अलिफ्ताल के दिव्य राज्य खंडाला फवर यूनिट रेजिडेंट कोऑर्डिनेटर मिस कैथरीन as well रैतु मजले हो के इस मुअज़्ज़फ़ुना इदारी वेरिना आदि मी प्रोग्राम मी हाँ फुरी हमें कुरिया के गामा से के कुराए में हाँ मुअज़्ज़फ़ुन अलिफ्ताल के UNDP के टीम आदि खास गोते का मी देहा तेविस वना हरो के प्रैक्टिस पार्लियामेंट के फुरतम बेच के मी सीरीज के फुरतम बेच के बैवरिंग अस्सलाम वालेकुम वरहमतुल्लाहि वबरकातुहू अदे अळुगंडो मी प्रोग्राम आदे तरेगा ए प्रैक्टिस पार्लियामेंट फॉर वीमेन मी प्रोग्राम आदे तरेगा खास गोते केंगुले कमी हम क्या मिस रही तुंगे मजदूर के मुअज़्ज़फ़ुना आदि मिहार अळुगंडे ही वनी UNDP के ही वाके मुअज़्ज़फ़ुना बस यह बोर्ड से रहनों हैं अळुन बाय फार हुन्नाने अळुन के दायरा के बाय कंकंग रीशेड्यूल कोल्लाफा मी प्रोग्राम मी वगुत दिनुम के गोतुंगा जिम आदि मजली हो के बस एम फाहुं अळुन बैरी प्रोग्राम गालुन के कमिटी या कैंसल कोल्लाफा हिंद दोहा का रीशेड्यूल कोल्लाफा हुन्नाने हम मी प्रोग्राम का बैरियम गोतु फुरतम देहास 21 वर्ण आहारो मी प्रोग्राम के फुरतम सीरीज के फुरतम मी सेशन कुरिया दिए इरु अळुगंड बैरवान लिबुम फुर्सत का एर वरं आकोड़ मी प्रोग्राम मिहारो मिवणी एदुहा बलाफ वरा बोर्डा इवॉल्व्स वेफ वरा बोर्डेति बदलता उड़िया रंगलो कंपोनेंट तक हिफहट्टा अदि आ मुहिम कंपोनेंट तारफुको अदि कुरिया गेंदियुमुगा मी तफात उकुलुता बैवरिन एम फैदावाने कोता मी अलुं मी फरुमा कुरेफ मिहारो मिवणी नमस एरु के फुरतम प्रोग्राम गालोंडो फाहकोलम बेनुम वे एदुवहु मी ए प्रोग्राम का बैवेरी वी हिवर का दी फुरतम प्रोग्राम विमा आ कमेगा मी आ बयका कुरिमते लागें बैवेरी वी मी बैवेरिंग दे कुरी सवाल तका मी ए फरात तकों मी प्रोग्राम के बेनु एब्जॉर्ब को फोय मिंवरो एथेरे अंगे नगाफवा मिंवरो फेनि फाडोंड हितंगेरी मी वाणये इराद कुरव्या मी प्रोग्राम वाणये मी अंगिनो सियासी दायरा का बारो एरी कुरुमा तफातु गेनुवा प्रोग्राम का अदि रयतुंगे मजली हों गेंदा एजुकेशन मी डिपार्टमेंट हों गेंदा प्रोग्राम तो के थेरे एम वारो कता एम्मे तफातु गेनुवादे अदि एम्मे रंगळु प्रोग्राम वेಗೆಂದಾಣೆ ದೆಂ ಇದು ಅಳುನ್ ಹಿತುಗ ಅಜಮ್ ಖಂಡೇಳಿ ಮಿ ಮುಸ್ತಕ್ಬಲ್ಗ ವಿಸ್ಕೂರಿ ದಾಣೆ ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮ್ ಕಮವನ್ನ ಅಳುಗಂಡ ದೇವೆಂ ಒಯ್ ವಗುತೆ ಅಳುಗಂಡ ದೇವೆಂ ಒಯ್ ಕಿತಮೆ ಕೊಡಮೆ ಸಹಿ ತರಿಕಮೆ ಅದಿ ಅಳುನ್ ಮಿಸಾಲಕ ಮಿ बैवरिंग कोरम बेणु सुवालक जवाब दिनुम हाजिर वंजे हेजे अवस कोम्मे हालते गाडोन मी प्रोग्राम इरादु कोरेविया अळुगंड देवेंगे एब्बारुदु मेद्देनमे एगोतुं अळुंडु मीवदुस मिता मिहुरी मी प्रोग्राम के तिम्मण क्लोजिंग इंगे तो फुरतम फहारुं फेशिಗೆಂ अदि मी अळुंड तिम्मण प्रोग्राम अळुंड हंदाम बालेनु नम एगे सबबके इंगे तो मी प्रोग्राम के जरिया फुरतम अळुंड हीवणी मी ऑस्ट्रेलिया सरकार के हीगा रैतुंगे मजदी हदि UNDP गुಳಿಗೆ मी प्रोग्राम कुरिया गेंदम फेशीरु आहारको ए प्रोग्राम फुदेने कमा मी बेफुडु बेल्लेविकमुग यस वेस मी प्रोग्राम गे कामयाबी गे एम्मे बोडो ए मी हेक्ककी ए प्रोग्राम आहार तेरेगा मी नुफुदेका हकीकतुगा डिमांड एव्वे सुफेदेज्जे मी प्रोग्राम मी हुन्ना अंगेनुन्ना रीच वाले अंगेनुन्ना हमें दाले मी फुरिहम कमुन्ना अदि एगे बेणु mi program hinga farattaka fennalle bodu kamun alundu miharu fakhruverikama ko dannavam me jeheni adi UNDP sha raitunge majlihe sha Australia sarukara intihaya shukuru eriwa me jeheni mi program aharaku defaharu zuwanunna sha adi anhenunna mi series ge de program komme aharaku hingak ngeto adi natijage gotun alun dannawadanto sateka haddiha ei anhenu miha thana mi program ge sariya siyasi madanu ka harakat terivuma gabel kan ituru kuruma hivvaru dinuma adi hivvaru libigen tayyar kore fawaka me alun danawai sabab mi hama kollana mi program ge midi aharuge session ge e bavire ei aluganduge daira hinavaru daira ge mi zuwan hivaruga dankoja fazina farik ngeto mi program ge fahum fazina mi kuriyaddiya alun minge party hinavaru daira ga kuriya gendiya huriha harakatege idari is dauren ada korava idari is daureke alon me dannawani ei decision making level ge program kuriya gendiyuma kuriya gendane gota e campaign ekam gaves adi ane hen saatege harakate kam gaves gina mihun party veddum kam gaves party a golun huri eki muhimu decision tanegumga fazina bare dannawa adi ege iturumes mi nimidiya intihabuga enage mi gabiliyat party ashalun dairage mihuna feni enage mi confidence level adi enage hivvaru ituru efawa minvaru balaganege fawa kamuge nishanaki adi hekkaki midiya mi nimidiya MDP ge wara vaadaveri mi riyasi primary ga alugange dairage emme is safuga maseke kuri hinkochaki fazina farik ei mi program ge mi faratun faada ko fahori kuch adi hama mi ge turun fazina ge turun alundu mi nimidiya den siyase gotun emme hunu gada etchaka vege midiya mi nimidiya primary ga alundu dushim maale daira adi ehenihin rajushuge daira takes mi program ga baveri vi anhen counselor na adi baki positioning mi siyase gotun ada nukoreno mes mi program ge eta baverine mi aluganda rajushan alugandu daturu koriru dima vivara ginafaharan asa bonalane eji handan ebahuri ge timana majli hon dima vi practice parliament ngeta den alun danna kine to handan ne teni den photo en nagalana den practice parliament ke wahka dakkalane ade gen beenun kurebune alun ahala egen coach to iti beenun kurani alun danna to emme ginan ane bunefen eta kyasu zaatege hivvareke yakin kamike amila nafsa medo lebeni mi kankamuga isve ulumuge alun hitun ei mi program ge maqsad ki ves mi program faruma kore fami wani ekkamaka mi siyasi daira ga masake kuram beenum wa anhin kodinge gabilkan anhenunge gabilkan ituru korun siyasi daira ga mi siyasat kandalamuga bas buna hisabuga anhenunna bas buna hisaban anhenunna wasil vevene magu kosha denun adi hisabuga tibi anhenun nan hivvaru laderun ekbar gina fahara mi program ge bavenna ki WDC ge memberunna mi council tahuge memberun besme adi party tahuge rajage ki siyasi party tahuge muhim dawre befuluna mibakutu gabul nukurevunam mes mi program nimeru gabul kurevene muhimu dawren ada kuramu genda farata kekkan hema mi program ke zariya in bas bunumuge hivvaru e position takan adefete bi farataka mi hoda dino den adi ege iturum ves mi rayitunge majlis hinga gota rayitunge majlihu ka ganun heduma adi jawabdari kurma adi budget hedumuga mi anhenu mi nang ada kurevene dawro hasagoteka mi unganna denuma egen anhenu nang hivvaru ladeno mi maqsad tan hasel wamun dakan aluganda mi practice parliament ke kuri ge bavering ge farato siyasi madan ga harakat terivati ve aluganda dani fenna moikom ge heki dani lebam hikamata ka aluganda UNDP sha raitun ge majli ge tara sha is muazzafun sha de mi khamuga hasako shamil ve wada ge nguluva huriha muazzafun adi Australia government ne sarukara shukr danna walam benove දෙකමෙන් අලුණු ඉතුරු මේ ಹುಷಾಳಾಲ ಬೇಣು ಮಿ ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮ್ ಅಳುಣ ಗಬೂಲ್ ಕುರ ಗೊತುಗ ಮಿ ಇತುರ ಮಿ ಫುರಿಹಮ ಕುರುಮ ಲಿಬಿದಾನೆ ಹಿವ್ವರೆ ಕಮುಗ ಫಹರುಗ ಮಿ ಅಳುಣ ದೆಕೆ ದೆತಿನ್ ಕಮ ಗೆತ ಎಕ್ಕಮಕಿ ಮಿ ಕುರಿಗೆ ಮಿ ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮ್ಗೆ ಬ್ಯಾಬರಿ ಮಿಸಾಲಕ ತಿಬೇಫುಳು ಮಿ ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮ್ ನಿಮ್ಮ ದೆಂಗ್ ಅದಾ ಕುರವ ದೌರು ಕೊಮ್ಮೆಸ್ ವರಕ ನೆ ಕೆಪ್ಚರ್ ಕುರವ मी देंग मुस्तकबल का मी प्रोग्राम का बैर फरात तक एको मी प्रोग्राम निम्मा फरात होगे तेरे कामयाब कमाए को सियासतदार का हरकत तेरे वामो इवरा एको मसके कोर मुंगेंदा फरात तक इंटरेक्ट वाने प्लेटफॉर्म मी ट्रेनिंग के तेरे MVS सेशन के तेरे MVS नोता फहम VS नेटवर्क के तेरे गुड़वा देनुं ए मी प्रोग्राम आमे दोन यागिंग कमाई तो बारा मी अंगोना था रही बाद में मी प्रोग्राम इतुरा मी आने निमुन नुदी ही फेट ने गोते कम अड़ुगंड फेन्नादी को निम्मा मी फरात का आदि मी प्रोग्राम का बैर मुंदा फरात को कोनिका का मुआमला कुरा मुंदा कम पन्या को कोनिको कि बैंक हिवर होदा हिवर लिबिगने के मसे के कुरा कम अड़ुगंड कबूल कुरेवे मी प्रोग्राम एक जातु गणी मिनु दानक देवण कम का अड़ुन फाहा कोलम बेणवे अस अड़ुन में अंगहेनु मिवाह का अड़ुन तिबे फोन अड़ुन दिमा सेशन गवेस दक्काले मी के खुरी मी क्लोजिंग गवेस मी के मी ए प्रोग्राम के क्लोजिंग के साड़ मिवाह का दारना वाले अने अड़ुन मिवाह का बारा बड़ा स्ट्रेस कोलम बेणु वा सबब की असलो अने मी सियासी मातानु कबकी हिसाब का अंगहेनु आदवनु कम गवेस अंगहेनु कुरेवे कंकं कंपार्टमेंटलाइज कोल्ला स्टीरियोटाइप कोल्ला थेवे अळुंड गबुल कोरा गोतका मियपुरे बोडा मी अंगहेनु टार्गेट कुरेवे प्रोग्राम तका मी नंबर तका मी बजेट इन्न बजेट रीड कुरुमा बजेट मान नेरेनेगु अदि हास गोतेक मी बजेट क्यूमा बजेट मान नेरी गेंग ए गेंग अंगहेनुंगे कंकमा अंगहेनुंगे इश्यूज बजेट कुराने गोय दस को देंजे एहे नोनी अमे वा गोतकी एकमका मुश्तमो कबूल न करे अंगहेनु हिसाब जहांगे इंगे कमका देवन कमका अळुन मेंवेस मिसाल का अळुगंड हिसाब मी परबोड लोइबे गेंगोळे अदि हास गोतेक मी अळुनगे तमरीन तगुतेरें एम्मे स्ट्रांग ए तमरीन की बजट एनालिसिस एकम अळुगंड कम इमेज को फुर्सत नूली बेने नूली लिबिफाइने मी बजट प्रोसेस का मी मानवी गोते मी हिसाब जे होमगा हिसाब कियोमगा मी नंबर तक मान होदागे मसके कोरमोगे अदि अळुन की हेनु मी फुरत मळुने वाका अने मी मजली हंग आस दक्काले मिस कुडको बाय मी हुं करे कुडको मी हिनी फुलुस वेड हुं करनेगे गबोदन नु कोरेवे मी अंगेनु कोरा जातोगे अदि शावरे कं होरदाने जातो कमे कमेस मी मजली होगा नोता अने डिसीजन मेकिंग काउंसिल का WDC का एवस निम्मा एवस मगा मेका हिसाब अकोरता का नोनी बजट का नोनी फैसाय का दूरे नुए बेने ए मैनेजमेंट के बाय हिंगुमु के बाय डिसीजन मेकिंग के वर बोड बाय एविडेंस बेस्ड डिसीजन मेकिंग नंबर आ हिसाब अनुला कुरानी गोते अड़गंड कन्नु इसने एहेम ए हम लाजिम मैंडेटरी मॉड्यूल ले अड़गंड कबूल करा गोतो एवस तमरीने का हास को अंगेनु टारगेट को गें कुरिय गेंदा कम बन्या कम हिफरु दिनुगे गोतुम बिस अदि ए तमरीना एको बाय को निकुमे तिबिकं मुजतम अडु इवी गोस मुजतम देखे कोई बदल कोरम सारा मुहिम का मेहम एकं हिमनाल देवुं अदि कोम्मिसिफेगा मी एक आबिल कं इतर कोरम मासके कोल्ला देवुं UNDP मजली हवस अदि ऑस्ट्रेलिया सरकार देवा फीडबैक कवेस हिमना देवुं ए अडु एदेकमे तिम्मन कमका अडुंडो मी फाह कोल्ला बेणुम भी एकमके असकी तो अडुंगे मेवा के हा गिने तिबे फलो अडु हम स्नुजे होनिस मज पार्लिमेंट का अंगेनु गिना नमा मदुई मे इरु को अडुन मेवा का दक्का वा अडु हम जेन गेन मे जेन अडुगंडु बे मदत्तो ए मांगेनु गिना कुरम बेसे बजने नमस अडुन हम मेवा का हम ता कुरार को मी दन्न वालं मी बेणुम वा सबब के अडुंगे तजरिबा गमी मी हम कोम में मस मुहिम कमे कमा देखे थी स्टीरियोटाइप ब्रेक कोरा मजलिस कमिटी तक बल्ला वाले कम का वीएसएस फेनिवा डांडवाने misal ka alun head kurani human rights and gender committee okay masala ene ei alun specialize wa daira ehem vima mi e baraboda make sense kore taruwan huru ekam ehin committee tavesure komme member ka de committee ka masake kureve devani algon masake kurani ijtimai committee ka feni madana wadatta the stereotyping datta ehma mi break kurumattaka aluwanda hivani hasa effort mi program ge terenge balabanje angenuna kurevene kantaka den huriya kames kureven shawgore kan hurete kama banna angenuna bes firehuna bes aluwanga bol korago ehnama bes hasa gote ga waki kan kannu kurevene kama deketi e break kuruma e rula aluma algon men mi policy level ga program tan hingaru masake kuran che kama deketi e waha alun darnawala penu කොම්මකස් මාගින වගුත් අඩු නගා කරන ඉතින් අඩුවඩු බෑවරෙන දන්නවාලා බේනු වාහකයකි තිබේ ෆුළුන්න අඩුගොඩු යගින්කං එබ දෙමේ මි ප්‍රෝග්‍රාම්ගේ සරිගායින් තිම් ලිබ්වඩ නෙවි මවුලු මාතා තිලිබිවඩ නෙවි හිව්වර අමිල නෆ්සුගේ මචන් උෆෙදිෆවා යගින්කමකි ඒගේ මච්ච තිබේ ෆුළුන් මි ඉතුර මසෙක්කෙ කුරව්වා ෆෙනම adi ege macha yaginkan ufadda fenama mi tibe fulunge siyasi hayatuga beenun kurevene maulumat takeke mi ilmu takeke adi wahak adivunu wahaka takeke ingeta adi ege iturum ves mi adundo devana kamaka faha kollam beenun wani tibe fulunna mi the one in a visnu me ke hena me sadu tibe fulna hivver dinu gotundana wa ke tibe ful me madanuga nan tibe fulunge nan feven fasha hisabun sida birugenno mattaka adi tibe fulum fahata jesu mattaka social media ge zariyai tibe fulunge zata tibe fulun tibe gota tibe fulun turukuraba heduma tibe fulun wahaka dakkawa gota tibe fulunge ailaya tibe fulun danna mi huna ratte hinna kurakantaka annukurakantauge matcha tibe fulun na tibe fulunge hivvaru balikollumuge gotun ekige gotun hasa goteka ferihenu attack kurapa ngeto alun me danna wani amila tajribai fast jei wada nugarnawate beenumaki ei tibe fulna tibe fulum engilavani tibe fuluna tibe fulunge tedurikama class terikama engilavani hemmihaka tibe fulun explanation den che kamennu siyasi dairaga adi hasa gotega tibe fulun lava itura gos heddev mattaka adi birugennev mattaka miyadu social media ga tammina libifa mewa mi space ga tibe fulna huriha gotukun attack kurapa ingeto adi tibe fulna gulum huri mi honna bes tibe fulna ko photo ennaga mi ha yakkom bes attack kurapa first je wada no gannamati beenumaki tibe fulunge hivver bali kollo anhenum midaira nekumejeya gelleni war midaira ga ole waragina firhenuge fursattake hama kama hame diumattaka miyadu adugon men huri hivvarkum adugon men anhendarin na madama e hivvaru libeni e jaga ufeddeni ehma ekako anekako kurima salon miwaka darnawalen adi is the member Rosena said is it member hisan wes alon men ekuga bari session ga miwaka dekkevi alon adi wes efaru etimas kura tibe folon mi azum kandalu ba tibe folon ge siyasi hayatuka duwa hakwes ehin anhenaka dere libe wagoto ena gambanu lanak nulane kama ehindun tibe folon beseti ambura return wanikam gi yagin kan alwande adi mustaqbal ka anhenun ge kurieruma oin eme bodu gonjema ki anhenun emi dekon e hisabun badal wegen dan dear Catherine apologies for saying so many things in the way but no I just I love this program. This is one of my favorite programs, actually my favorite program that the Parliament runs, and the one single program that I have not missed an opportunity to interact with or contribute to, because I see how meaningful and how influential this program is for the 171 participants that have completed this program. I was just telling them the most recent politically hyped activity was the MDP presidential primary. And I'm so glad and so happy and actually so proud to meet so many participants of this program, graduates of this program in the islands, as well as in Male, playing very influential and crucial roles in campaigns. Actually, in fact, one of my constituents, who is one of the recipients of the training, is currently fulfilling a very important role of one of a strategist in my constituency's campaigns since then. And so I'm very proud to be associated with this program, and also fully and completely believe in the benefits of this program and the importance of gathering women together and having and supporting them in a space such as the parliament, interacting with people who are living the experience of being women in the parliament in Maldivian politics. I also had a few recommendations about what things that I believe, if you may consider, make this program even more useful for women, especially in breaking stereotypes, is helping women make a sense of budgets, reading, making meaning of budgets, and also how to budget for women. And it's a crucial skill to have. It's actually a competency that I believe every politician should have, which many people don't believe is a competency that women can have. Forget politics anywhere. So, but I think this is the space to change it. This is an opportunity to change that. The more we train women in the field of budget analysis, I believe the way people think about women and numbers and women and mathematics and science ought to break. And this is one area I hope that we can build on in the future programs. And also similarly, how even in a space like the parliament, women parliamentarians are given roles in committees that usually are stereotyped. And so in order to break that, I think this program is crucial, especially since there are so many councillors and WDC members and senior officials and administrative officials of political parties taking part in this program. They may not know the power they have in making decisions, but if we make them believe via this program, I have seen from the recipients of this training how they have used it to influence change in the political areas that they're working in. And so I'm extremely grateful to UNDP, the Australian government and Parliament for continuing this program, making sure that it evolves to fit the needs of the participants, and for creating this opportunity, especially for parliamentarians like me, to engage with the future female parliamentarians of Maldives. Arun ummid kurang mustaqbal ka dalunge duaye kiwes raje ga dem bevigen da intihab takoga tibe folungen anta ballot karda hoka fenigen deu. I hope and pray that in the future elections that this country says we see your names in the ballot papers, and then we get to vote for you. Bara bada shukriya. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
शुक्रिया इज्जत मेंबर मिरस्मियात के बैवरीना मुहातब को वाकफुल देखुमा देम फुर्सत अरवानी United Nations के resident coordinator Miss Catherine Haswell.
Thank you for those insightful words. Now we would like to invite the United Nations resident coordinator Miss Catherine Haswell to share her remarks.
Honourable Member of Parliament from Hinnavarud constituency, I never get it right, Mr. Jihan Mohammed. My colleagues, His Excellency Paul Stevens, the Australian High Commissioner to the Maldives, who's with us remotely in Sri Lanka today. Most importantly, to all of you, the participants of the Practice Parliament for Women, my friends and officials from the People's Majlis and colleagues, Assalamu alaikum, and a very, very warm welcome to you this afternoon. Actually, I must say, Jihan, there is no apology needed because I feel that you've saved me from not having to speak in Deve, for which I'm very, very grateful. Even those who know that I've been here now for 3 years, I've still not mastered your lovely language. So hopefully you will bear with me, friends, with my English this afternoon. It's really an incredible, great pleasure also to be here at this particular point in my tenure at 3 years, because you get to this point where actually most people in the room are actually friends rather than colleagues or people you've never met before. And so it's an incredible opportunity for me to be here with you, and I'm incredibly grateful for the invitation from UNDP and the team, particularly because they've been working with equal level of passion, as you've seen from our MP Jihan, for this program. And I think everyone will be talking about 2023 in the presidential election, and that's good, because actually while they've got their eye on that prize, there's a lot of work that needs to be done and is being done by people exactly like you for the parliamentary elections next year and every 5 years after that. I don't need to tell you that equality is not yet there, so I'm not going to give you statistics, I'm not going to lecture you, but my quick little calculation a minute ago, if 4 female MPs out of the 87 is representative of the gender distribution of the Maldives, it means that the lovely ladies here in the room are a very rare species, very beautiful, endangered rare species, at just making 5% of the population. So I know you're not the ones who will think that that's accurate, but I do find it really interesting that it's still a challenge to explain that the legislative, budget and policy decision-making authority sits with 95% of the population, 95% in terms of one gender. Because when I travel to the islands, I was just telling Jihan this earlier, for me what I see is that actually women are the engine of keeping the islands running. And it's actually women who are the ones who come up to me, quite forthright and very bold, and come up to me with their ideas. Many of which in the WDCs have been doing work leading their communities for 20 years and are adjusting to this new WDC system and the new council system. And I feel a little bit like we talk a lot about getting representation of women, that we have to encourage women to stand up and be in parliament, that we have to encourage women, Maldivian women, to stand up and take leadership. But I actually don't see it that way. You're in the room. I've heard so much already about the sacrifices and the very standard, obvious thing that women need to do in order to be here for this whole week. I don't think that's the challenge. I think the challenge is what's our time frame that we're going to set where it's no longer acceptable for women to be perceived to be 5% of the Maldivian population. And I think rather than trying to inspire you, rather than trying to tell you it's possible, I actually think we need to become quite calculated and operational now in terms of what's the figure as women, you would like to set as the target for the Majlis for the parliamentary elections next year. So even if you were to double it to 10%, that means we need 8 women to win MP seats in the Majlis next year. Does that sound like a lot? Shake your head or nod. Yes or no? Doesn't sound like a lot, does it? Right? We've got 4 now, 4 who are brilliantly trying the best they can despite the odds. We only need another 4. So now it's a little bit of participatory engagement in the room. That's my favourite part of an event. Put up your hand if after this training you've been in this week, whether you're interested in standing for the elections next year. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Don't be shy. Don't be shy. You're amongst friends. Oh, there's more. Look, keep them up because I haven't got my glasses on, so I need to count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. We've got our 8. We've already got our 4, and then we've got another 11. So that's just out of this round. And as Jihan has already said, she's been here with all of the practice parliaments for women since they started. And she's already seeing people coming in to strategy roles, to support roles, and learning and apprenticing about what does it take. So I'm very positive just from this quick straw poll in the room, that's another 11 even after 1 week. And I think that this is also a testament to the incredible work of our friends in UNDP together with the Majlis, because I have to tell you I'm incredibly proud of them because this program keeps getting top ratings every time it comes. And I now have friends in political parties who I think you all know I'm engaging with for the presidential election. But everybody calls me and says, how are you assigning the slots for candidates for the Women's Practice Parliament? And then I always have to call my friends in UNDP and say, how are you assigning the slots? And the best part of that is that we don't assign the slots. That's the best part. Because if we just were to keep going through the same structure of the same political parties with the same approach to nominating women, building women, and building them into a system where they can get elected, I'm not sure we're going anywhere. So I'm always very proud to call them back and say, hi, you know how you asked about slots? There's no slots, you can't control it. And they freak out a little bit. And then I get really happy because they freak out. So, and then what I try and do whenever I can is to tweet it myself to say an open call to everyone. Whether you want to be independent, whether you want to be MDP, whether you want to be PPM, whether you want to be JP, Adalat, whatever you want to be. And so I think that's the way that we really need to go. And rather than give you lots of statistics from the UN about the 2030 agenda, SDG 5, which is on gender equality, you all know this much better than me, I'm sure. Because you're the leaders of the future. And as Jihan says, at some point she might be, in her retirement, working on your campaign strategy. And hopefully she'll be able to share the wisdom that she built from the time that she was in Parliament. And I must say on one thing, Jihan, it is always true that women are the ones who are assigned the committees like human rights and gender, child protection, social work. It's very true. But you know, until and when those areas are seen as being an issue that support 100% of the population rather than 5% of the population, it needs to be driven by women. Because until that point, it will always be seen as the 5%. So I look around the room and I can see some really inspired, excited faces. I'm going to remember the 11 of you who put your hand up. I'll hold you to it. I'll make sure that I come and check and see if you put forward your names next year. But in all seriousness, I really wanted to say a big thank you, because it's moments like this where we see that the long-term development work that the UN is here to support you on is really making traction. We don't like focusing on events. I personally don't like signing ceremonies. I like to see how the programs we're doing, sustained over time, actually make a significant contribution and difference. And I think on that point, Jihan, it's also critical that we build on and review what works, what hasn't worked, what could be better, and how do we build that in as we evolve the program for future practice parliaments for women. I also want to thank, on behalf of the UNDP team, the Government of Australia, with the funding provided through the Department of Foreign Affairs and Trade. They've continued to provide this support. It's fairly low-key. They don't widely advertise this support, but I know that they also see very clearly the tangible benefits of this program. And I look forward to the opportunity, perhaps when I come back to the Maldives again in the future, after this term, where one of you is the president, another one is the vice president, and I get the chance to walk into Parliament and see at least 43 of you as MPs rather than 4. And when that happens, you won't even need to give me a call because I'll come back to celebrate with you. Thank you so much. It's been wonderful to be with you. I look forward to talking to you individually. Shukriya, and have a lovely afternoon. Thank you.
Dear Vidalvi Agohari Basfula Shukriya. Practice Parliament for Women Barin certificate Haval Kodema Etirayatum Majdi Hinnavar Daira Izzetir member Jihan Mahmood Gyarihum Mara Adabere Kamak Danava.
Thank you, Ms. Catherine, for those encouraging words. Next, we will be handing out the certificates of participation. First, we would like to invite Honorable MP Ms. Jihan Mahmood to hand out the certificates.
Mariam Shaz Ali. Aishat Neera. Mariam Shifa. Aniyat Muhammad. Aishat Shatma. Hilma Adam, Hafiza Adam, Hawa Zahira, Amnat Ali, Shehnaz Mohammed, Fatmat Fasia, Amnat Ansuda, Mariam Suad, Aisha Trishta, Fatmat Haifa Hussain, Fatmat Huda Abdul Gayyum, Amnat Abdul Sattar, Hamida Muhammad, Farzana Rashad. Shukriya Izzettir member. British Parliament for Women के बैवरीना सर्टिफिकेट हवाल को देवमा United Nations के resident coordinator Miss Catherine Haswell के अरिहुम बारक अतबेरी कमायक तन्नवा.
Thank you. Next, we would like to invite Resident Coordinator to the United Nations, Ms. Catherine Haswell, to hand out the certificates. Aminat Nasma. Aminat Suhana Naim. Abbasa Muhammad. Mariam Rashida. Fatmat Ali Didi. Aminat Halfa Ahmad. Shamiha Ismail. Nasra Ali. Shiza Muhammad Didi. Aishat Rifsana. Akbari Muhammad. Farial Hassan. Rima Hussain. Jamshida Mufid. Shamia Ibrahim. Anusha Abdul Latif. Aminat Nasuha. And Aminat Nada.
Shukriya. Practice Parliament for Women ga kuravunu tajriba hissa koddevamangedi mitannavani Rima Hussain.
Thank you. Next on the agenda is the sharing of experience by a participant of the program. For this item, I would like to invite Rima Hussain to the stage.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Allahu hamdu Quran Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam adi salawata salam ka ekale fan ka hala sabuna mitur shahabin shamil Quran. Hinna varu taida ke izzatar member Alfadila Jihan Mahmud UNDP ke Resident Coordinator, Miss Catherine Haswell, Majiliuga Idarage, Mozafung Adi UNDP, Almena, Ehitericum for Kodamalong, Emeha. Facilitators, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Almena mi furusatu deviti varapota shukur dannamang alund mita gas mi hoteli almeng huriha baveringi faratung almena libunu experience share kollumu gegotu hagegatuga aluwan me mitanang ai siyasi मैदानुगा कुरियद्दिनु मशादी अंगेनु बारु वेरी कुरुमट्टक अल्मेनल लिबे फुरसत तक्का को मालूमात लिबिगें मालूमात अंगेनु नकी बारु वेरी बाइगे गोतुगा अल्मेगे मुजुतमा गेनस्तेनु मट्टका अल्मे मितना आयुरुगा हगीगतुगा अल्मेनका नेंगे रय्यदुन्नकी मा बारु वेरी बाइकम अल्में अबदु सीको गेतिबेनी मजली हुन्ने कंका निम्मानी मजली होगतिबे मेंबरुन्नकी वर बारुगद बाइके अल्मे रय्यदुन्नकी अल्मेंगे अडु अल्मेंगे मुजतमा अंगेगे सबबुं असर कुराने एव्वेस पारे नेब्बाइके एकम हगीगतुगा मितना गावम फहो रय्यदुन्नकी मुळि गावमुगा ಡೆಮೋಕ್ರಸಿಗೆ ಹದ ಡೆಮೋಕ್ರಸಿಗೆ ಮಾಯಗಡು ಅಸಾಸಕಿ ರೈತುಂಗ ಅಳ್ಮೆನ್ನ ಇಂಗಿಗೆ ಇಂಗೆಚ್ಚೆ ದೆಂಗ್ ಅಳ್ಮೆಂಗೆ ಕೌನ್ಸಿಲ್ ತಕ WDC ತೌಗವೆಸ್ ಕಂತತ್ತ ಕುರಂಜೆ ಹೆ ಗೊತ್ತಾ ಅಣೆ ಲಾಮರುಕಜಿ ಎ ಬಸ್ ಅಳ್ಮೆನ ಇವೆ ಡೆಮೋಕ್ರಸಿ ಬಸ್ ಇಂಗೆ ಹಗೀಗತುಗೆ ಇಕ್ಕೊಂ ಎಚ್ಚೆಕ್ಕಂ ಅಳ್ಮೆನ ಇಂಗುಣಿ ಮಿಕೊಳಂ ಆಫಹು ಅಳ್ಮೆಂಗೆ ತೆರೆ ವರ ಗಿನ ಕುದಿಂತಕಿ ಮಿಕೊಳಂ ಆಯಿರುಗ ಮೀಹುಣ ಸಿಯಾಸಿ ದಾಯಿರಾಗ ಉಳೆಂಬೇಣು ಕಮ್ಗಾವಿಸ ಕುದು ಅಳುಗಂಡ ಕೀವಿಸ್ सियासी पार्टी एग्ग ओले कमकु सियासी मैदान का मिगोता अरा वाहक दक्कन केरे खुदिन तक नो एहनम इस ये गवर्नमेंट के प्रैक्टिस तो में हाथ को मेदो गवर्नमेंट के मीडिया सेशन का बरा गिना खुदिन तक के हुनर तिबे फुनस फेनिगेन दाने अल्म गबूल कुरनी फ्यूचर का इस गवर्नमेंट के मी खुदिन की इराद कुरे वियामो गवर्नमेंट के मी सरकारुन्ना अदि पॉलिटिकल पोस्ट तकुन्ना हाथ को गवर्नमेंट के मी रईतुंगे मजली हुके गोंडितकुं फेनिगेन दाने कुदिन कमुगा अदि अल्मेंग हुरिहा कुदिन वेस मितनु कोम्मे कुज्जकु बैरवी कमुगा वेस अल्मेंग हम अल्मेंग के फुल सपोर्ट अबदुस देने कम हम अने विदालो In this program, we have got so many informations from LGA, Ministry of Gender, SHE, ICOM, UNDP, including People, Majlis, and many more detailed information regarding democracy and many more. It helps us to learn more than democracy and how Parliament works and the power of our members and the power of councils, WDC, and power of our NGOs. This program will surely help us to raise and shine in the future leaders, and we make sure that we will be seen in these podiums and in the political party posts and people majlis as well as cabinet of government. And I will share a small experience I have in myself. Until yesterday, I'm a member of Jumhuri Party, and until yesterday I always think that I will remain as a member. But yesterday I have applied for vice president of the party and member of the 25 members who will be elected to the committees. I have also applied for that. So I am 100% sure that these people, our members, will be seen in future generation as the leaders. Thank you. Thank you so much.
शुक्रिया देव मिगेनेस देनी बैवरिंग के फरातु हुशाला दे सरप्राइज आइटम है
Thank you, Rima. Next, we have a surprise item by the participants of Practice Parliament for Women. Interesting.
Assalamu alaikum. Because almeng ane members ke faratung हम अतिबे फ्लुंग आगु अजंग कुरुमगे गो तो almeng के फरातुन दे कोड़ा कोड़ा हम हदिया अंगे रो मटका ane almeng के 3 members दाना वाला अदि मी इन हम दिनो मट्टक अल्मे हम अल्में के हव्वत्ते स्टेज अने को वाला Furtame salam dhannawadan raitunge majlis, people majlis. Shukriya Hassan. Dengal mi dhannawadani Australia sarkar faratong ane Australia dengal mendeva UNDP ke befle wada miti pavi samay mein rangaluinge to और मैंने मेरे फोटो आएंगे बेफ्लो ना हिसाब फोन वाल दे बे समावारा पड़ कमी हवाल वेला को मैं से बेफ्लो कोड़ा उमर Thank you, Umar. Miss Catherine Hess, I would like to hand over this to you, please.
I'm taking this for UNDP.
Thank you so much. Shukriya aur padate ka.
मिरस्मियात निम्मालानी बैवरिंग के ग्रुप फोटो को यफ़ा मिरस्मियात के बैवरिंग के शरफ का बेवे बिले मेरे कोल में उन्नान वाक धन्यवाद.
Congratulations to all the participants for completing this exciting opportunity. We hope that you will find this an enriching experience and are going to take home good memories and invaluable information. We will conclude with a group photo. Please note that there are refreshments provided at the ground floor. Thank you for your attendance.